What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down 3 ways to run a fade, okay? So we're going to be talking about how to run a fade against press, how to run a fade against kind of a catch technique DB, and then how you guys can run a fade against a DB who is 8 to 10 yards off. That's a common question that you guys ask me, so we're going to be covering all 3 of those bases today. So I hope this video gives you guys some value. Let's get started. Also, fellas, what I want to mention is we have an ultimate wide receiver training package on our website. So it's a specific 1-month-long gym program, and you get our technique manual with everything wide receiver, all the specific technical points, step by step, what you need to do to become a better wide receiver. Check out that very first link in the description, you guys, to get access to this ultimate wide receiver training bundle, this training package at a discounted price from just buying those 2 programs separately. So I hope we get you guys on that soon. Again, very first link in the description. Let's get started. So first video we're going to be taking a look at here is right from Sammy Watkins 2 Super Bowls ago. And we're going to be talking about how you guys can run a fade with an inside release. Okay, so now it is not, there are times where you must outside release, right? Where it's an MOR, you got to get outside. Maybe your job is to run this dude out of there, right? Maybe this week you're trying to emphasize just running the guy out from the run game rather than blocking him, and you're trying to make him think fade and take him out of the play. So that's when you would maybe want to take an outside release. But you got to get this ball, and this DB jumps and takes away the outside. Let's just take what he gives me, and let's just take the inside, right? So if I come off the line, he's going to be going with like this triple step release, right? So he goes 1, 2, 3. And you see how Sherman's coming with him to the outside. He's not staying disciplined to the inside. If I come out and I do this release and I give him that 1, 2, and this guy's staying to the inside, a DB, Sherman, whatever, I could just take the outside and run if he's going to stay disciplined on the inside, right? But if he's going to commit to the fade and he's going to try to take away this fade, I'm not going to force this thing to the outside. A lot of time releases are about reacting, right? There are times where you come up to the line, you got to go with something quick, and then you got to get out of there. And then there are times where it's based off of reacting, right? So that's what this release is about. Because if you guys can come off here and you know that you're trying to get a gauge on this DB, trying to read him, and he takes away the outside, why is that bad? Like if he goes with you right here and you give him just like a 1, 2, and then you take off to the outside, what's going to happen? He's going to get right on your hip. He's going to force you to the inside, or to the outside, excuse me, and you're going to have about a yard from you and the sideline. So you're going to literally, that's going to be the most impossible throw for the quarterback, and he's probably not going to give you the ball because you're covered. You're double teamed by the DB and by the sideline. So that's an impossible throw for the quarterback. He moves on. So if this DB jumps out wide with you, take the inside. He's giving up the inside. I'm going to take it. But what do you think is important right here? You got to shed that hand contact, right? So if you want to take an inside release, what hand do you got to beat? You got to beat his inside hand. So I don't need to worry about chopping, swatting, dipping under, whatever. I get him off that platform. I can just swat by. You see how Watkins goes with his right arm over the top? You get separation by just swatting his inside arm. Now he's chasing you. Now he's got to recover. And then what do we need to do? We need to work to restack, because now it's the same thing. If you're running a fade, maybe there's a 1 high safety and you start drifting to the inside right here. That's an easy play for that safety to make. Quarterback ain't going to throw you the ball. We want to always be in that position where the quarterback has the easiest time giving us a ball. Okay, so now he works back to the outside, takes the inside release, makes sure that we restack so this DB is trailing my hip, and then I'm able to make this play over the top. That's a great rep there by Watkins. And you can see a safety coming in over the top, so it probably was a 1 high safety situation. Maybe Sherman had inside help, so maybe he's going to be a little bit more anxious to jump to the outside. But again, if that DB takes away the outside, don't force the outside release. You guys want to make sure that you could run any single route with an inside or an outside release. Just watch this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Watkins coming off right here. 1, 2, 3. Get him to jump. Beat that hand, beat that inside hand, then restack to make sure that I get as much separation as possible. So now we're going to be talking about a DB in like catch technique, who you're coming out. He's maybe not getting physical, not getting hands. What do I need to do to be able to get some space on this guy, right? So you see how this DB right here, we're coming off the line of scrimmage and he's kind of bailing with me, right? He's waiting for us to run into us before he gets hands, and he's playing this thing pretty disciplined, staying here. What do you think you want to do as a receiver when maybe it's not even this situation? Maybe it's a situation where you come up off the line and this dude's maybe 2 to 3 yards off from the get. 2 to 3 yards off just right away. What do you think you got to do? Do you think you just take off and try to beat him with speed to the outside? No. What you want to do is you want to attack him. You want to square him up. You want to close that distance right there. Try to quote unquote step on his toes and force him on the defensive, right? Force him on those heels, because if you get him on those heels and he's watching those hips and we give him any kind of shake, right? And it's a good shake with my upper half, give him good move to the inside, good move to the outside, whatever it may be, that can move him off that platform, and that can really get you a lot of separation because he's on those heels. If he's going to backpedal with you like that, we want to close the distance. If he's like 2 to 3 yards off and he sits there, I could square him up and give him a quicker move. If his feet are flat, I know I could beat him with speed as long as I get him to stay flat-footed, as long as I threaten him to the inside, outside, whichever way we're trying to threaten him to go, okay? So it's very important When you guys got to run a fade route, when this guy's in this off man, 2 to 3 yards, not necessarily off man, but they call it catch technique, where he's trying to come out, catch you. You close the distance with him, you give him a little bit of a move, and then you get up vertical. Okay, let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. There's a great example of what to do in this DB's 2 to 3 off. Close the distance, step on those toes, make him miss, and then let's burst back upfield. Okay, so now this is the one that everybody always asks about. How do I run this fade when this DB is 6, 7, 8 to 10 yards off, right? And maybe he's inside shade. What do you think? You got to go through these situations in your head, right? Because it's not always going to be me telling you here what you got to be able to do. You guys eventually got to be able to react and see this on the field yourself and have that just trigger in your mind that, okay, I got to do this. So let's watch his full speed. This is a textbook example of what you got to do. So you see this receiver when he comes off, stems him to the inside, squares him up, gives that little head fake, and then we burst up back to the outside. So there's a lot of key details in here. That's why I love this route, and I love to include this route. So when we come off here, why not just run straight at his outside shoulder, maybe give him a little stutter and then go? Because that DB is not threatened right there. He's just going to stay with me right on that hip. He's going to force me to the inside, or force me to the outside. Excuse me, made that mistake again. He's going to force you to the outside and just be right on your hip, and that's no separation for this quarterback, right? So he's inside shade, right? 8 to 10 yards off. So what do you think we want to do? Very similar to that catch technique. I want to close the distance and attack his leverage. So he's inside leverage. I want to stem to the inside. That's what they call that. I want to stem him. I want to go right at that midline to force him to move, because what does he not want to give up inside shade? He does not want to give up the inside leverage. He does not want you to cross his face. So if I come out here and I attack him, what do you think he's going to do? He's going to weave with me. He's going to keep that leverage to the inside. But where's he taught not to get beat? He's not taught to get beat to the inside. So where do you think I want to threaten him? I want to threaten him to the inside. So you see how he throws his entire body on this cut, right? Really sells with his upper half, puts his foot in the ground. That's what gets that DB to jump. So anytime you got an 8 to 10 yard off DB and he's an off man, inside shade or head up, you want to close the distance, try to step on those toes, and then threaten him with a move to the inside. They call this a vertical set. Some people think of this as like a rocker step, a pressure step, whatever it is. But this like vertical set right here that gets him to sit down allows you to stop his feet, and then you could win that race back to the ball. So you see how I come out here, I attack his leverage, I square him up, give that move to the inside. Now, he's not completely beat. He's still got about 5 yards. I would like this receiver to maybe close the distance just a little bit more, because I think that could get him a little bit more separation. But maybe they've been running a certain dig off of this. Maybe they've been running a certain route off of this, and that's what we're trying to sell with this vertical set. But when I get that DB to jump and I get him to kind of shoot forward, now it's a race. But now with this race, I should be able to win this race every time, because I didn't just go straight there. I attacked his leverage. So what do I have now? I got all this space to work back to that back corner, and I moved him off that platform. I automatically have the advantage because he's got to recover, and I know exactly where I'm going. So that's why it's so important when he's 8 to 10 yards off. You want to attack his leverage, you want to square him up, and you want to move him off this platform. So I square him up, give him that move to the inside, and now I'm here. I want to keep my head down until I am open. I keep my head down until I know I got this DB beat by at least maybe 2 to 3 steps. Look back for this ball. Trust that ball is going to have some air, and it will be over the top for you to make this play. That's a textbook route of how you guys can run a fade against off man when he is 8 to 10 yards off, inside shade. You want to square him up, try to step on his toes the best you can, threaten him to the inside because he does not want to give up the inside off man, and then we beat him to that back corner of the end zone. Let's watch this thing again, full speed one more time. And now I want to address this also. Let's say he's in straight up zone coverage and he's outside shade and he's facing the quarterback and you got to run a fade and you're maybe from the outside. You want to do the same thing. Try to step on his toes. You want to attack. If he was facing the quarterback like this, like let's say he was head up, his eyes were here, you would want to attack this hip right here. You wouldn't run one straight at him right here. Maybe give a little move to that blind spot if he keeps widening out, and then just take the inside release. You know what I mean? Chances are the ball ain't going to you anyways on a fade from the outside if that guy's outside shade, but you still want to try to get as much separation as possible in case the quarterback likes the matchup. Maybe we want to take a shot downfield to you. Maybe we like this matchup where you might have a little bit of size or a little bit of speed on this guy. So that's how you attack that situation. If he was outside shade or head up facing the quarterback, same thing. Step on his toes, attack his front hip, either give him a move inside like a vertical set, give him a move outside to attack that blind spot, then take advantage of where he reacts to. Okay, let's watch this thing again, full speed. Great job attacking that leverage. Great job squaring him up, giving that move to the inside, then win that race to the ball. Win that race to that back corner, quote unquote, or to that open field. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, please leave those in the comments below. I will get back to you as soon as possible. And also, fellas, if you want an ultimate wide receiver training package, you want a specific gym program for wide receivers and a specific step-by-step guide to improve your entire game, all the aspects of playing the wide receiver position and how to improve it, check out that very first link in the description, discounted price. Hope we get you guys on that soon. I'll see you guys next time.